Once, in a quiet little village surrounded by fields and dusty roads, there lived an elderly woman. She was very old, with soft white hair and a face lined with gentle, peaceful wrinkles. But her eyes shone with warmth and endless compassion. Everyone in the village adored her because she always seemed joyful, even when life was heavy. She lived by herself in a tiny hut beside a large neem tree. She had no children, and her husband had passed away long ago. Yet she never complained. Every morning she sat beneath the shade of the tree, greeting people, listening to their worries, and offering them her calming smile. In that village, life demanded hard work. Some people tilled the soil, some crafted wooden tools, others sold vegetables in the small market. Sometimes drought came and the crops withered. Sometimes sickness spread and workers stayed home. Life wasn't easy, and many villagers carried quiet sadness or fear. One afternoon, a young woman named Meera approached the old lady. She was crying, her face tight with anxiety. "My husband went to another town to look for work," Meera said through tears. "But weeks have passed, and he hasn't sent any money. My children are hungry. I don't know what to do." The old woman looked at her gently and said, "Sit here, child. Tell me, what do you fear will happen?" Meera wiped her face and whispered, "I'm afraid everything will go wrong. What if he can't find a job? What if he never comes back?" The old woman shook her head softly. "My dear Meera, when our mind is filled with dark thoughts, our days become darker too. But when we choose thoughts of hope, our heart grows lighter." Meera asked, "But how can I think hopeful thoughts when everything around me feels hopeless?" The old woman smiled again and said, "Let me tell you a story." Meera leaned closer, curious. The old woman began, "Once there was a man who felt he had lost everything. He had no money, no family, no home. He sat by a well and cried. An old traveler approached him and asked, 'Why are you crying?' He replied, 'Because I have nothing left.' 'How can I be happy?' The traveler smiled and said, 'Look around. You have the wind, the sky, the earth beneath your feet. You have your breath. If you only think about what is missing, you will always feel empty. But if you notice what you do have, even the smallest things, your heart will find peace again.' The man listened. Slowly he stopped crying. He began to appreciate the world around him. And from that moment his life began to change, not because of magic, but because his mindset changed." The old woman looked at Meera and said, "You see, child, his life shifted when his thoughts did. When we allow hope inside, strength follows." Meera asked quietly, "Will thinking positively really change my life?" The old lady nodded. "Yes. If you wake each morning and tell yourself, 'Today will be a good day,' you will find courage to work, to care for your children, and to wait with hope for your husband. But if you feed your mind only with fears, you will feel weak before the day even begins." Meera breathed deeply. "I understand. I will try." "That is the first step," the old woman said kindly. Meera left feeling lighter than before. Each day she remembered those words. She woke early and whispered, "Today will be a good day." She did her chores, fed her children, and prayed for her husband's safety. Then, one morning, a letter arrived. Her husband had found stable work in the town and was sending money back home. Overjoyed, Meera ran to the old woman to share the news. The old lady smiled knowingly. "You see, my dear, when we welcome good thoughts, we invite good things. Life will always bring challenges, but if we meet them with hope, we can rise above them." Soon many villagers came to her for guidance. She told them the same simple truth. Think kindly. Think with hope. Good things grow from a good mind. And the villagers cherished her even more, for she had shown them the gentle power of positive thinking.